Hi all. Right, just look back over the last video. I've not uploaded that yet, so I'll be able to add a couple of comments. There's a couple of things. Well, one wee mistake that I've made, and something else that I was talking about that I'd like to kind of clear up. First of all, okay, I was right in the fact that I needed to check for this bridge down here, but I totally forgot about all these bridges up here, and I thought this one was going to have to get checked for, which would have been a bit of a nightmare if it had suddenly blown. I would have had to go and rewind everything, but this one's not, because when a unit moves into here, this hex wouldn't have been in supply. Now, these units weren't there, these were some of the units that moved, but this hex wouldn't have been in supply because I can't trace into here, zone of control, and into here, because this would be a German unit. So this hex wouldn't have been an Allied supply, fortunately. None of these other bridges were involved, because we actually did we not have units here anyway? But the one that did matter was this one here, because this is a good bridge, and we moved units into this hex. Well, Allied supply can be traced to that hex, so there should have been a check made for this bridge. I'm pretty sure the rest of them were okay. Like I say, this one I thought I had to check for that, but it looks to me like that would have been okay as well. So I'll do a check for that bridge. Oh, hang on a sec. Okay, so we'll do a check for that bridge now. I mean, that wouldn't have affected anything. If it happens to blow, then it has as well. You know what though? I'm not that sure that it matters, that one. If anything, it may actually be better for us. Well, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't affect. I mean, this is a victory point hex, so this is another one that I know I had talked about. Maybe just dropping back to like Bastogne area and maybe keeping St Hubert, but I suppose there's victory points there, so we probably want to try and keep that too. But these were the main bridges anyway, so fortunately we're all right with them. So I think that's right. Like I say, when I'm watching the video again, I'll put a couple of comments. I'll add a couple of comments to say that I've noted that, and I'll just double check again when I'm watching it. But I don't think the other ones were a problem. Okay. Right. The other bit. Hang on. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Allied action cards now. Now, I mean, a lot of them are offensive, and I remember Martin telling me way back about the restrictions, preserve the line, protect VP hex and whatever. They're actually, they're down the bottom of the card. They're actually part of, I mean, you've got to abide by them, yes, but they're part of the actual action. So they're not part of the situation. And I think I went over this before, but you usually find that the two coincide with each other, but some of these cards, as you get later on in the game, some of the cards start to, once you start using unit stack, it can start to, the situation can be found to be correct. I'm trying to find the word there. The situation can be, you found the situation is going to work, and then you carry out the action, and then you realise that you've got to preserve the line or protect the VP hex. So this is what I remember Martin trying to stress this to me before, and I thought I had grasped it, but I'm still talking about, when I'm talking about this card and I'm looking at the situation, I'm still always talking about, well, this needs to preserve the line, needs to protect VP hex. You shouldn't even be looking at that yet, Grant, because now nothing happened by it. I don't think, but this is the situation I wanted to point out. So this was the first unit we were using, and it's unit stack, and it's 6 strength. It's stacked with a 5th corps unit, but he's part of the stack, so he's involved. And I talked about moving this unit 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Well, it's actually 5. 1, 2. It'll be 1, 2 into there, 3, 4, and down into here to try and attack this. But this has got 4 strength. It would have 4 strength. It needs to have greater strength. And then I mentioned that the infantry unit couldn't get down there, but I also then said even if it could get down there, it needs to protect the VP Hex. It's all right, this 7th Armoured unit coming out, but he needs to protect the VP Hex. Well, that's not what I should be considering at that moment. I mean, yes, he'll stay there and protect the VP Hex, but let's just say that he did have enough movement to get down here, right? So we've got 6 strength against 4 strength now. So now the situation is complete. It can do it. It can do it, but it can't do it because it's protecting VP Hex. But again, we're only talking about the situation. So the situation has been completed. We can comply with that. We've got greater strength than the German units that. So then you move on to the action. Well, the action has moved to weakest qualifying target and attack. So yes, this unit would move down, the 7th Armoured unit. Then we'd look at the infantry unit and we'd say, okay, it can get down there, but it's got to protect VP Hex. So it now then doesn't come down. So then you've got the situation where there's only 4 strength points against 4 strength, situationally 4 strength points. So that situation doesn't comply anymore, but we're past that. We've moved on by that. We're on to the next part. We're on to the action. But if you look at the next part of the action as other proximate units in the same core reinforce. So this unit here would be able to attack, and any other units, I think these 30, were they not maybe within range as well? I think the 30th Infantry Division was up here. So they could have came in attack as well. So it just shows you that, you know, I could have stopped that from happening, whereas it could have happened, and then there still would have been quite a big battle, quite a strong battle, because it's using other units. So I need to watch that. I need to say to myself, look, let's deal with the situation first. I mean, the majority of the time, you look at the situation and then you realise that it's not going to work. The protect VP Hex, the action's not actually going to happen, but you need to do it in a separate, you need to separate them. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't think I made any mistakes there, apart from talking about it in the wrong way. So I was trying to put that right by saying you've got to split the two bits into, look at the situation first, find out if it's going to happen or not, then deal with the action. And it might be that none of these units move, but other units could maybe reinforce, so the action could still maybe go ahead. But if the action doesn't go ahead, fair enough, the unit could still carry out a different action on the next card. Whatever. Okay, I think that's enough of that. So I don't think I made any mistakes with that there, though. I did start wondering if that unit could have carried out the action elsewhere, but again, this was coming across the river, and I was including that, but I don't think there was any errors made, but just like I say, the talking of it. Okay, back to us. So it's a German impulse, isn't it? Yes. Okay, I'm going to play the 47 Panzer Corps card. So that was a card I was reluctant to use for artillery. Because, they're still quite a strong corps. We repaired 2 of the units, and then we got the fresh, 9th Panzer Division came on. So, although I'm wanting to pull them back as well, I still feel like I'm going to make an attack on this unit. And the main reason being is these 2 units in here are trapped. So if I can take this unit out, and I've got the card to activate the 58th, then, to be honest, I'm not going to be able to free up that unit anyway, am I? It's only going to free up this one, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not full sure there's much I can do about that guy there. Well, maybe he just needs to sit there and he'll eventually get taken out, probably. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to activate them. So, that's a cube I've took off of that. Remember, all these guys are in low supply. Why is that unit not marked? Right, I'm assuming I must have just missed that guy. This guy here. Yeah, because he wouldn't have been able to trace supply. I must have just missed them. So all them are on low supply. So I figure I can make an attack. Remember, I can't play combat tactics on these guys. So that's the other thing. I could. I mean, this guy, I was going to try and move him along. He can't actually reach. Sorry, bring it around a bit. He can't actually reach this town, which I was quite keen. I thought, oh, I'll just move him at a town, but he's not quite got the movement to get there. But then I thought I would move him back. But I'm just looking and just looking and then thinking I could actually bring him forward to surround that guy. I don't know if that's silly or not. I don't really need the extra strength. It's just if he's surrounded and has to retreat, he's going to take a step loss. So there's more chance of us taking him out. But well, you know what? I'll think about that. I'm pretty sure these two stacks will go stay here and attack this. He might come across. So we need to find out what we're going to do with all this stuff here. I think they're all just going to retreat back. Okay, so I'm going to move these guys first. This is the 9th Panzer. And they're all full strength as well. It seems I'm sort of pondering there, oh, why am I bringing them back? They're full strength units, but you know, I've had my go at the Muse. I think that's what you do. You try and have a go, and if you can't get there, well, we got the OKW units out, so we managed to get that. We missed out on the points, fair enough. I think if you get the points, you're looking at the possible. Hopefully, you're going to win the game. So we're past that. So now we've got to consider falling back. We've got 43 victory points, so we're in good. If we can protect what we've got, even if we did lose 2 or 3, Bastogne's 5, isn't it? So I don't really want to lose Bastogne, but you know, if we lose a couple of the 2-pointers, maybe we might still be okay, you know. So yeah. So anyway, let's just move on. So I'm going to use strategic movement in this guy. 1, 2. Now these bridges are alright. This one's blown now anyway, so there's none of these. And like I say, once I move the unit into there, well, these units are here now as well. So, but even when these units weren't there, you couldn't trace allied supply into there, because it couldn't go into there and it couldn't go into there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I might need to stop them there. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'll zoom out a little bit. So 7. So yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because I can't move him across into there, and yeah, that's the last hex. And that's fully stacked. I could push him up to there, but I don't really see the point in that. I can still get across the bridge and into these hexes, so I think I'll just leave him there. Now I was wondering about, I'm not going to give up completely on Rochefort because it's 2 victory points, so I'm going to leave some stuff behind. I thought, is it enough just to put that 1-step unit into there, or should I use maybe one of these? This is what I'm a bit unsure about. What I'd like to do with one of these is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 into this town. Yeah, think I'd quite like to do that. Because I want to bring some stuff maybe around this way as well and protect what they've got coming that way. I'm gonna get some of these black cubes because these units are still in low supply, mind. And so is this one at the moment. Well, okay, let me think about the rest here. Yeah, I'm going to bring this other guy down to join him, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just having a thought there that I might actually consider having an attack here in the future. It's not an awful lot of units about here, but just into here trying to get this guy involved. I mean, the problem is they're all low supply at the moment. So I could get these 2 units involved. I did think there about why not put that down there as well, but in actual fact, where he is, he can actually come around to reach this unit if I decided I wanted to do that. So I think I'll go with that. And yeah, I'm just going to go with moving this unit into here. So I know it's an extra step. It's not brilliant, but I could, like I say, I think if I end up losing that town, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go for this actually. I'm gonna move this guy 1, 2, 3 into there. And see if we can't take that unit out and then get at least maybe to release that guy. Let's say the other guy we can't, don't think we can do much about him, but yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so the other units, I've got the unit in St Hubert, I'm not going to touch him. There's also the unit away up at, what is it, Valsam, who's been there for some time now, but that's 2 victory points. He's got a wee bit more around about him now, so you might see some grief, but I can't really, I don't want to move him out of there. I mean, I suppose, no, I don't want to do anything, man. So I think everyone else has moved, but I'm going to make an attack on this unit. So these guys are all going to come in. And yeah, at least we've got that guy surrounded now. Yeah, okay. So we've got a strength of, there's 10 there. And 9. So 19, 22. So 22 to 3, so 71 odds. 71 odds, and everyone's a chip pool. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've also got an elite unit there for 7, and then this is a 3-step unit for 8. We can't play a combat tactic anyway, so we've got 8 chip pools. Is that right? Is that what I said? 2, 5, 6, and then elite 3-step unit. Yes. So 8 chip pools, right. Okay, so he can't get an undetected defender anyway because he's surrounded, but he can still draw. Don't make it air power or something. Tank battalion. These are the ones when you want the reinforced battle when you've got them surrounded. I don't think I've drawn a reinforced battle with allies that I can remember, to be honest. Okay, So tank battalion gives them an extra strength point of 4. So what did I say? We were 22. So it's 22 to 4. So that's dropping the odds to 5 to 1. And he has armour now. Okay, so maximum of 8 chip pools, minimum of 2. I'll get the 2. Great start. A forest chit right away. And then just wanted to highlight that on that side. Defender artillery priority. Not that I'm not bitter. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get the other 6. Well, that was some crazy chip pulling. This is the next one that I drew, and I was like cursing because they knocked me down from 7 to 1 to 5 to 1, and it's 6 to 1, a D2. And then look at all the odds chits that I drew. I mean, okay, we've got 3 hits to ourselves, but it's pretty good. So, not quite sure if yeah, I think we do have them. Right, let me work out the. And we've got a large attack, and this, of course, this has got air power in the back, but he didn't draw air power this time, for the first time in a long time, I think. So we get the large attack out of that. So I'll work out the numbers there. Yeah, so 5 hits. So we've got easy enough hits to kill him. I forgot he was going to take a step loss when retreating the first hex as well. So sadly, 3 hits to us, but it's that wonderful number that makes you think, oh, could I, anyway, I'm taking him out of the way, could I just take 1 step loss and disperse everything? We're a bit early in the turn for that, but I'm just wondering if I'm really going to do anything else with it, guys. I mean, it depends. Obviously, if I did have the other core card, and then, of course, I could have the 5th Panzer Army card, which maybe activate them again. Well, I'll have a look at the units, but I think it would probably mean the loss of, well, I think we'd have to lose that unit, wouldn't we? Yeah, he's only 1 step. So that would have to go if we don't disperse to start with. Right, I'll have a look. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the 1 hit and disperse, I think. I mean, if I did activate 47th again, I don't think they would get involved in anything aggressive. I think all they'd be doing is pulling back a little bit. I mean, okay, I need to start doing that with them, yeah. I mean, the major concern is going to be, am I going to be able to get supply to them? But that's the whole point of this day. If I can't start doing that, so I need to punch a hole back through either here or, I mean, this might be an idea. There's a unit down here though, but I mean, my supply at the moment could come even through this road, come up through here, but it can't get into this hex. But our idea is to try and push into Bastogne. To be honest, the easiest bit would be to try and get rid of all this, but there's an awful lot to just say, let's get rid of all that. It's possible, I guess. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take 1 hit and disperse. I don't know if that's the best plan or not. Now, let me think. Yeah, I was swearing about taking off the Führer Brigade, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just take this wear unit. Oh, he drops to a 2. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will take the Führer Brigade. He drops to a 5 though, so it's similar, but a sec. Okay, we'll go with the wear unit, right enough. So he takes the step loss, and then we satisfy the other two by dispersing these 3 stacks. So I'll do that off camera. Everyone else has happened. There's no IPs I can put on. Both the units that didn't do anything are in they're in towns. Okay, so I'll disperse the units, and then we'll get in to draw 2 fresh cards. So I'll show you what they are in a minute. Okay, let's get our 2 new cards. See what we get. It doesn't feel terribly exciting. We could, though, maybe get this guy in a better place. Maybe. No. Of course, the other thing was, I was talking about coming down and maybe having an attack on this, so leaving that guy there to keep that surrounded is probably a better move, isn't it? Yeah, well. So no division cards, no fuel to worry about. Okay, I might have a wee pause there before we get our next Allied Impulse. I think I'll probably come back straight away, but I'll just cut it here, because just in case, just to split the video up. Okay guys, cheers. Hi all. Okay, Allied Impulse. Let's see what we got. 5th Corps division card. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, just had a quick look, and we've eliminated all the 2nd and the 99th Infantry. They're all in the eliminated cup. So there's obviously nothing to activate, and the next action is Tank Battalion, the event, unfortunately, but we'll see. This is one you can maybe get lucky with. So it says remove a step from 1 German infantry unit alone in a hex, without an IP nor in a town and adjacent to but not across a river from a supplied full strength allied unit. Your choice of more than 1. I'm saying I'll get lucky. I'm sure there's a few options here. So I'll start having a wee look about, see what options I've got. Okay, unfortunately I found something. And it's the only one, actually. This infantry unit here. It's alone in a hex. Without an IP, it's not in a town, and it's adjacent to, but not across a river from a supplied, full strength allied unit. So, I'm afraid it's going to be this guy here. I couldn't see any other ones. They're alone. There's a couple that are alone in the town. I got a fright actually thinking this guy, well, to be honest, Bastogne, that would be terrible, but he's in a town. But this guy as well in Ville-Sam, but again he's in a town as well. So yeah, so we've got to take it from this guy here. So yeah, he's got a separate counter to drop down to 2. It's not too bad because he was a 3-step unit, but no, it's not great either, is it? So, what have I done? Yeah, okay. Sorry, lost my wee box here. Okay, so that is the impulse over though, so it's not too brutal regarding that, I suppose. So what do we do next? Well, we could activate the OKW again. That's them had an impulse in between. You see I've got the 47th marked here. they can't be activated this impulse. And I think probably that's what I want to do. I want to see if I can do something at Bastogne. I can get an attack on certainly I think this unit's probably the one I can get the most on. Okay, let me just have a wee think though, just in case. I just realised a blunder I made. I put these guys there and I was talking about being able to just step them across into here or into here maybe, but as you can see I can't do that because I'm in a zone of control with an allied unit. So that's probably a bit of a spanner in the works. I mean, I can still bring them back into here and go around about. So that's 1, 2 into there, 3 across the river, 4 into here, or 4 into here, I suppose. It was a bit silly though, because I deliberately moved them up to that position, thinking I'll just step them across the unbridged river there. Dope. Okay. Okay, well I'm going to have less in this than I thought. Looking at it, I don't think it mattered anyway. I was never going to get units into this hex to attack, but starting to wonder if I could have maybe got 3 stacks round. Oops, sorry. Let me go out a bit, Grant. If I could have got 3 stacks round this guy and went for him first. Because to be honest, well, mind you, the roads all go up. Yeah, again, I'm trying to look at the supply. You know what though? I mean, wondering, could I mean, this unit's in the way here. But if I did bring these guys down and got this town here, we could actually no, don't think so. No. Oh dear. Okay. Right, I'm gonna go to Bastogne. Okay, so I'm gonna bring these 2 down then. So it's 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3, 4 into there. So yeah, I'm going to join them with one of these guys. Do I want the 4 strength one? Well, these are moving on to here first anyway. So that's 12 and 9, that's 21 to 3, so that's 71 odds. So another 3. So one of the 3 strength ones would be enough to take it to 8 to 1. It'd be 24. Well, if you got tank battalion or combat engineers, push them by 1, so that'd be 4. 24. Okay, so putting it, even if I've got a 3 strength unit and it's 24 to 3, which would be 8 to 1, or if he does happen to get a boost, 24 to 4, 6 to 1. So it doesn't matter adding the extra strength point for me to get 25, I don't think. So yeah, with that, I think I'll just move the 3 strength one then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 into the queer hex. So that's 2043 now. I'm just got to decide what I'm doing with these other 2 units. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into that queer hex for 5. With the hope that they can then go on another turn. Actually, what was the ones at the 17th? Is that them? That's these guys, isn't it? That's the one I've got the division card for, but I was thinking I might be using that for the event, the fuel priority event, to save somebody's fuel, but just starting to wonder if I can't play combat tactics anyway on them, so I'm sitting studying this, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get supply back. I mean, there is quite a few cards left, but it's all the allied units are all in the way, and I don't have this town. Sorry, off camera. I don't have this town, so I can't even think. Maybe try to get something coming this way, but then we've got this unit in the way. But we can maybe have a go at this, and well, we knew it was going to be kind of horrible to try and do the grant. So, I mean, I need more activations to these guys. And this is me. Oh, and by the way, I do actually have to play the card for this. I've left it lying in my hand, but I'm going to play it, of course. There is a few cards left. Whether we can get the the OKWs, they get activated by I need at least one more activation with them. Probably 2, but whether that's too much to ask. Oh, right, okay, let's not go into it anymore. I thought about, because I've got the division card for these 2, this division, there's only 2 units. And I could have ended up with them there and activated them again. Well, obviously not next impulse, but next again. Come around, but because I can't use combat tactics with them, I can't assault coordinate or anything like that. It'd just be the 2 units doing something, Yeah. Okay, I'm just looking at this again. I think this is really important, this move, and I'm just thinking that maybe the 17th PG division units, if they were in there, or I think I can even get them further down, might be more beneficial to make a move. So, I mean, nothing's changed here, there's no new information, so I think I'm going to reverse my movement here just now and rethink it out again, because I think this is really quite important. I thought maybe at first, okay, all I need to do is bash away at Bastogne here and we'll get our supply back. Well, there's too many units, there's too many allied units there for that to happen. I think we've not got any support from the east as well, really coming. It's not as if we've got guys coming to support. There's not really. I mean, the 53rd Corps, we've not seen their activation today, so that was the only thing I thought could come up. But I still don't think we can bash our way through and destroy. We can't destroy all these units. So I think we need to consider possibly trying to get down here. It does mean that this unit's going to be an issue, but it's possible we could have another go at that. It wasn't my intention, but We need to find some way. So I'm going to rewind that. Sorry to have put you through all that, and now I'm going to change it. But obviously I'm going to do it on camera. So and just try and rethink this and see if I can come up with a better position. Okay. Okay, I've reset the units back to where they were. So I put this cube here because I can get these 17th units down to here. I actually thought I could have got them to there, but I was forgetting I've got one movement to break zone of control. But it's still okay. So here's my thinking is 1, 2, 3, 4 queer hex, 5 queer hex. So my thinking is putting these guys down here. Now these are the two that I've got the division card for. So although I can't activate them next impulse, I will be able to activate them the following impulse. And putting them there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get into this town. So I mean the other thing being I put one of the units in here. So I put one unit there and then one in the town, and then you know I've got a trace. I mean, okay, I've not got a trace through here yet, but it's something at least. And I don't know, maybe you know what? Who knows? I think this is better play. I mean, my odds are going to be reduced to 7-1 now with the attack. The worry is that if they do draw the extra strength point, it drops it to 5-1, which is a bit of a shame. But I think it's worth it to have the possibility of doing this. I mean, the likelihood of taking that armoured unit out next to Ettelbruck, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. I feel like it's better. So these units, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then oh no, because I'm attacking that 4th armoured unit. Yeah, you can't get anywhere else, Grant. So, and there, I think that's what I want to do. Let me just pause though. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. Just had a glance down again. Thinking about the situation down here is because what I'm thinking is I probably need to try and get rid of this guy. But I haven't drawn the activation for the 85th Corps yet. I was just thinking if I can get an 85th Corps activation and an assault coordination, we could just chuck everything at this guy, and you know, that could be a possibility. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to go with what I've done here. So we're going to have an attack. Like I say, there's 20. There's only 21 to 3. 21 to 3. So I've got 71 odds. Right, I've got the card there. Well, I can't play combat tactics anyway for these guys. So 21 to 3, 71. So if it does happen to draw combat engineers or tank battalion, unfortunately I'm going to drop to 5-1. But let's hope that doesn't happen. But we're going to draw something anyway. Oh, it's surrounded though as well now. There's that, but he's still going to get a combat tactic. So 71. It's straight up 6 chip pools. There's nothing fancy in there. There's no elites, and again, can't play any tactics. So 6 chip pools. So let's see what he gets. What am I hoping for here? Oh, let's just draw it. That's probably air power then, isn't it? Yeah, no command for air power. So, well, air power, that's not been kind to us recently, has it? We've seen that G2 twice. Hopefully they're in the drawing cup at the moment. I'm sure there's some more in there though as well. Okay, now he's an elite armour unit. We've not got elites in the battle, he's in a broken hex. He's got units adjacent. Okay, so a minimum of 2, we've got a maximum of 6. Right, let's see how we get on. Okay, well, nice start, 5 to 1. It's 91 in the back, but which is the D3 one, I think. Yeah, that would have been great. This was the 5th Panzerarm in the back, he played the air power. So, at least that's not a minus, it's not a D minus, so that's good. We've still got a hit on him. Although he's surrounded, he's got units adjacent though, so he's not going to guarantee to like retreat and take a loss. Maybe downside to the blue chip was the one I talked about. I think I've shuffled in a couple of the G2. Well, there's certainly one. Whether I drew it again or not, it's all shuffled back in again. But anyway, I'm going to draw the other 4 chits. Oh dear. Well, there you go. I certainly shuffled it back in. Dear me. I would have been reasonably happy to take that. I got a defender adjacent at the end to take a D minus 1. There's another 91 chit. It would have been great if I'd had 91. Just as well I didn't have 91 when I made that change. I would have been kicking myself. That'd been 2 91 chits. But it was only 8 to 1 I was getting, so yeah, if I hadn't got that at the end, I would have been okay about it, but it's going to hurt us here again unless I make some dispersals. Okay, we'll clear things up and have a look. Well, it's actually 4 hits. I thought it was only 3. I was forgetting about this other air power. So, yeah, not so good. So just 1 hit to him. He is in just a broken exo, so no IP. He doesn't flip and exert no zone of control though, so it's going to go down to a hold check. So, right, the hold value of that hex is 0, so yeah, it's not got a value, so it's just the 0, and he's got 2 steps. So the whole chance is a 2. If defending units surrounded or out of communication. Well, he is surrounded, so that's a -3. So in actual fact, I think it's going to be -1. That's a strange one. I don't think I've seen this before. Because the next clause is +4 if all retreat routes would require extra step loss. Well, that's not the case. He can retreat into either here or here beside one of his supplied units. So let's just double check that again. So the hold value of the hex is 0. Steps in the defending units is 2. No across the river. So -3 if defending units surrounded or out of communication. Well, he is surrounded. He's probably not out of communication, but he's surrounded, so -3. So that's a -1. So he's going to retreat. because I can't roll less than -1. Less than or equal to -1. So yeah, I don't think I've ever had that before. So I don't even need to roll the dice. He's just going to retreat. Where is he going to retreat to? He's going to retreat to one of his buddies. That's going to make it a bit more frustrating for me because I'm going to think, well, I probably want to try and advance. Okay, let's see where he's going to retreat to. Okay, so he's looking for the withdrawal directions that way, so but closest to the withdrawal directions that way, so yeah, so I think he's going to retreat into there. So now we've got to decide what we're doing with our 4 hits. Hi all. Okay, I'd left this position overnight. Again, I felt like this was quite a hard decision, but I'm still in the process of what I'm doing. I've got 4 hits to take on these 2 stacks of units, and I'd been swithering obviously about taking 2 hits and soaking up the other 2 by dispersing the 2 stacks, or taking the 4 hits obviously. They're all full strength units, so I think I've actually came to my conclusion that I'm going to take the 4 hits and keep them upright and get an advance into here. I need to try and get in and protect Bastogne, so if I get advance with maybe this stack into here, and then this stack stays here and can come out and in here, and we've got this guy surrounded, and have a go at this guy. If we get the chance again. I also had to check about what was activating these units, because there's different, you know, the army cards, and it'd be the 7th army card that would activate them, and as usual I can't remember if I seen that card yesterday or not, because days and days have went by. But I haven't seen the army group card for some time now as well, so there's a chance that's in there. I have, I think, 5 cards left. 5 cards left in my draw pile. So, I mean, I could... No, I'm not going to start looking into what the possibilities are, what could be what. I do feel like it's maybe not going to matter about these guys' strength. Well, you know, it is, but if I take the dispersal, then I'm definitely not going to get an attack on this guy. You know, it's unlikely I'm going to get a unit in to support Bastogne anyway, because it's still going to be surrounded by these 2 stacks, and these are stronger. This is 8 strength, this is 6 strength, 5 strength, sorry. So, tough decisions now I'm having, but I should maybe just throw caution to the wind and just go for it, and yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the 4 hits and not disperse them, and hope I get another activation with them, and can have a go at this cavalry unit at least. Then the other part about taking that cavalry unit out and also advancing these guys into here is this guy then might be able to trade supply, maybe, if we happen to get a supply opened up. Then if these units happen to be in here and units in here, then we might be able to trade supply for it, whereas at the moment it can't. So okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take... So I've got to take 2 hits from each stack. So this guy drops from a 4 to a 3, and these 3s drop from a 3 to a 2. So we'll take a hit on this guy. He'll stay as is, or I wonder if I should take the hit. Keep the 4 strength unit with 2 steps. Yeah, I probably should, shouldn't I? Maybe it doesn't make much odds. So, okay, so they 2... And remember, when I'm taking these hits, I'm spreading it about. So, first hit, I take 1 from one of these units. Second hit, I take 1 from one of these units. I've got to divide it between the 2, but there's no point in me. I'm going to take 2 from that stack and 2 from this stack. Well, these are all 4s, so hopefully they just drop to 3s. Yeah, they do. Yeah, okay. Okay, so then our advance after combat. Well, yeah, I suppose the fact this stack's down here already, it makes more sense to advance these guys. So yeah, I'm going to advance the guys after combat. And they'll just stay where they are. And yeah, I mean, it is possible if I can open a supply road here that this guy could trace through some units to actually get supply maybe as well. If he's still around. Because if that 4th armour or the 3rd Corps activate again, there's a good chance Bastogne might fall. Okay, so that's me finished my activation of the OKW. So yeah, so we'll get an allied impulse. We'll get that up shortly. I'll clear things up here. Oh, I've got a new card to draw though, so I'll draw that first. Okay, that's the 53rd Corps, which is good to see. Alright, there's a primary card. I wasn't sure there was a primary card for them. There clearly is, so there you go. Maybe every corps has a primary card. Maybe that is the case. I thought that being a small corps that maybe didn't. Anyway, it's also got assault coordination on it as well, and I had been talking about if my thinking of trying to get this supply trace, we need to remove this unit. So this is good for 2 things. It's got some units round about this unit. I think the better idea would have been to get the activation for these guys, bring them in and use this as assault coordination to involve the guys, because we really need to put everything into that, assuming everything else goes to plan, but that's maybe a wee bit to come yet. We need to draw the card for the 85th Corps as well, but it's not been drawn yet, and there is a primary card for them, so at least I'm pretty sure there is. So once we see that, we can think about maybe doing that. Okay, Allied turn. Let's see what they're going to get up to this time. Oh, it's 85th. 18th Airborne. Away with my numbers. Again, but this is a full corps this time, so there's quite a few of them. So, looking to assign replacement points. There's no units in reserve units box. Oh, and I've been lacking. I've been slacking again with my thinking about out of contact units, haven't I? I hope that's not happened and I forgot all about it. You know what? It is possible. That's one that seems to slip my mind. In particular, when I go away for a while, when I come back, it's one that doesn't really stick with me about checking out of contact units for redeployment somewhere. So, well, I think that boat sailed anyway. I don't think I can go back to that. I've not had any comments about the most recent stuff I put up, so fingers crossed there's not been any issues with it. Okay, we'll have a look just now though, just in case there is anybody that's out of contact and could redeploy first. Okay, I've marked these 4 stacks. Well, 3 single units is two units in this stack. The 4 stacks are out of contact. Other ones aren't, and it does make me wonder. I know the card I had before was just the division card activating, and I think there's a possibility that maybe 1 or 2 of the units before might have been out of contact, but no, I can't. I don't think I can go back and fix that. I might watch a video again and have a look. The other thing is they may well be out of contact, these units, but they can only be deployed with method A. So they can redeploy. They can't be redeployed with method B, which is easier to do. So the chances of them moving somewhere else are probably quite slim anyway. But they 4 stacks of units are classed as out of contact. There's no German unit proximate to them. Well, hold on, because one of the conditions is they're in Allied communication. Well, they are. No German units proximate to them, that's correct. And the removal of the unit would not create a gap in the Allied line. So that's the other thing we do have to watch for. Okay, hang on. Well, a quick look to me says that any of the units being removed won't create a gap. I mean, this one you would initially think would, but the Allied line can still be traced down through this unit rather than through that unit. So now hold on here though, is that no, I think that's okay, yeah, because although at the moment you would trace the line like that into that hex, the removal of that doesn't open up any gap hexes because it just traces down to here. I think that's right. I feel almost confident about that being right. And then the other 3 stacks aren't. No, they're definitely not. If you take this one away, these 2 are okay, and vice versa. So, okay, I'm going to have a look because it's probably unlikely that they're going to move anywhere. So we'll have a look. Okay, I think bad things are starting to happen here. These 3, I know I've got the same colour cubes, I've no. These 3 position hexes are actually an Allied supply now, because this unit, we had the German unit here. If a unit was to go there, 1, 2, it's on that road and it can trace supply. And I don't think any of them are in danger of surround. If a unit was to be put here, there's no German unit. They're all down here. They're too far away to surround, and the stuff we've got in the north is too far north. So we've kind of got a gap in here. I mean, I remember talking about that a while back, that there was a big space in the middle there. But so I get the feeling that these units might, because a German unit's proximate to the 3 hex. This unit, actually, hang on, he's got a break zone of control in it, so he's proximate to there. It could be it's only that hex then, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, but that hex there, right? Let's just say, and we would be removing this unit. This unit's got a selector number of 3, so he's out of contact. So he's the lowest numbered unit within the ones that are out of contact. So if he redeployed to there, which pretty decent move, I think, cuts off this unit in Valsam that's got victory points, surrounds them. So just checking method A, place unit in a hex meeting all the following criteria. Best empty position hex, unit's core area, and the core area is here in north, so it's within that. Able to trace allied supply, like I said, if the unit's there, it's actually on a supply road for the allies now. Anyway, doesn't need to actually trace, it's on the road. And then German unit proximate, yes, he can move 1, 2 into that hex. And the last part, well, not in dangerous surround, not in a German held city or town. And then, if there was more than one position, you're looking for 3 units you're looking for within 3 of a unit in the same corps, and to be honest, the same division if you can get it. But there's nothing else. There's nothing further along here that I mean that's one of his division, isn't it? The 7th Armour, but this hex is adjacent. I don't think. Well, actually, yeah, an infantry unit could get to there, but it's adjacent to allied units. That would have been within 3. So that's the only one I can see there that a German unit's proximate to. Ooh, well, you could consider this one, couldn't you? That's just within it. German unit's proximate. Alright, hang on a sec. Yeah, I actually think that is a candidate. It's just within his core area. German units proximate to it. You can trace supply, and it's not surroundable. Oh, these forest hexes there, so nothing can get up there to surround that. Yeah, and the reason I'm picking that obviously is because the unit we're talking about initially is a 7th Armoured unit. So, and he's got a buddy just here, so it's actually within 3 of a unit in the same division. So, yeah, I'm starting to be a little bit worried that last activation of these guys might have done something similar. Now that I'm seeing things, it was it was that division card, wasn't it? And I just went on to activate them. Again, it just seems to slip my mind that out of contact reserved deployment. It's quite possible. Some of these units might have done that then. That's too far back to go. I'm going to have to let that go if that has happened. Yeah, let's just move on for that, Grant. I think their activation was pretty decent anyway, didn't it? They ended up taking this unit out here. It wasn't as if they'd done nothing at all, so I'm going to have to leave it. I can't go back and fix that. There's too much happened between then. Okay. So, my thinking is that this unit will redeploy to this hex. So there we go. I'll actually just angle him now because I've not. Don't mix them up and think. So we've got 3 more options, and I suppose this hex, I might as well leave this hex because it's still an option. So the next one in line would be unit number 7 here. Now he's in a VP town, but there's no talk about there have been issues about him leaving a VP town as long as he's not creating a gap. That's the only restriction I can see. So now he's from he's not got a division, so he's looking for to be within 3 of... I'm pretty sure, I think this is maybe the only hex. But the thing is, once this guy goes here... Oh, no, because German unit still needs to be proximate to the hex, doesn't it? Okay, well, looking at that, my thinking is that this guy's going to come out here and redeploy to here. I've not done much of this before, out of contact redeployment. It could well be because I keep forgetting about it. I'm going to have to stay switched on with that. And to be honest, I think I talked about that way back, that I'm going to have to stay switched on to it. And I'm obviously not staying switched on to it. So, like I say, nobody's made any comments about it. Martin's no coming, said, well, you could have done that. But I suppose it's a tricky one to look into. But maybe not really. Once, if you find out they're out of contact, then they can be considered units in the reserve units box. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. Okay, so the other 3 units they're in 2 stacks. I now don't think there's anything that a German unit is proximate within there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure not. I'm going to pause, just have a quick look. I was just looking up here. I'm starting to panic that these 2 hexes might be feasible, because Allied could trace supply from there. 1, 2, 3, 4 onto this road and away. Which is kind of scary. And the hex northeast of it as well. But I've actually not got any German units that are proximate to that hex. I don't think. No. 1, 2. This guy could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, yeah. So, it's quite scary to think that these 2 hexes are in Allied supply. Makes me feel like I must be doing something awful wrong now, but it's all because of losing this area here, I think. It's a tough game to keep going, isn't it? Dear me. Okay. I don't think there's anything else. There were possibilities though, so it just shows you. I mean, I only just glanced up there because I looked at this one. I mean, I almost missed this area, you know. So it shows you there's lots of places you've got to look. And okay, I think that's it. So that counts as their impulse, because they've actually deployed as if they deployed reserves. So these 2 units didn't, or 2 stacks didn't get involved in it. And that's their impulse. So I mean, they moved a unit adjacent to victory points there. They're surrounded. Sorry, I've the camera zoomed in. I'm saying they moved this unit here, threatening the victory point town there, and they've got this one here moved to here to surround that victory point town. So you can start to see victory points drifting away, I think. So me getting all excited thinking I've got 43 at the moment, I think that's going to drop. Okay. That's Allied impulse over, so up with the Germans next. I'm not sure, I might just pause just now though. Yeah, we're 20 odd minutes into this video, so okay, I'll come back with German impulse soon, guys. Okay, cheers.